Let's get into main topic number one. And our first main topic today is actually a couple days old, but I forgot to cover it at the end of last week. But fortunately, somebody wrote in about it. This one comes to us from Colton M, who writes, "Hey, John, love the show." Thank you so much, Colton. Well, JC Chandor has just been announced to direct the Kraven the Hunter movie for Sony. Do you think Sony is rushing to get a universe going? What do you think about the director? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, we were just talking about Kraven the Hunter last week when they announced that they were getting the Spider-Woman going, at least what we assume is a Spider-Woman going over there. And we talked about the fact that they had still been talking about Kraven the Hunter. Well, they're moving ahead with Kraven the Hunter, and they have indeed gone out and got themselves director JC Chandor to be the director of it. I think this is great news on a couple of fronts. Number one, we all got excited about the notion of a Kraven the Hunter movie. What was it, a year and a half ago when the idea for it first got floated? Like a year and a half ago, we all got excited about it. Little bummed out that kind of seemed to go to the back burner, but now it's back. And as far as a director like JC Chandor goes, here's the thing. This guy's directed 4 feature films that of note. One was the film he did, it was kind of a solo movie in many ways, with Robert Redford, All Is Lost. 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Then he did that movie with Jessica Chastain, I thought it was Oscar Isaac.
It is Oscar Isaac.
Most Violent Year.
So good, John.
It is such a good movie. Scored an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then he did Margin Call, which I really loved. I thought that one was quite strong. That got an 87%. And then most recently, he did Triple Frontier, probably his worst movie, still pretty good. And he ended up scoring a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. And he did that with a killer cast from Pedro Pascal, with Batman himself, Ben Affleck, the true Ben Affleck, the true Batman, I should say. At any rate, this is the guy. You got fresh blood who's got a couple of major motion pictures under his belt, and he's done a terrific job. And by the way, these are 4 very different kinds of movies. It's not like he's only got one kind of style and he's a one-trick pony. These are 4 very, very different kinds of films. And for Sony to go out and get a guy like this, Rob, I think is exciting. I think that they're bringing in a young guy like this to do something. And the fact that they're just doing Kraven, to the point of, are they rushing? No, they've had Kraven the Hunter for how long? How long have they had this? And they first started talking about developing this like a year and a half ago. I feel no sense of panic. I feel no sense of rushing. If they had been rushing it, then the moment that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had any kind of success, they would have announced release dates in the next 16 months for 5 different movies. They didn't do that. I feel like they have been taking their time with this. And now they're actually making announcements, bringing on the director. I think this sounds great. Rob, you heard about this. What are your impressions?
Well, first of all, the Kraven the Hunter storyline is one of my favorites. And I mean, remember, this would be the 4th Spider-Verse movie. Or don't they have a special name for it? Chum or something? Whatever. Whatever they remember. Spunk. This would be the 4th after behind Venom, Morbius, Venom 2, and now this one. And this to me is the obvious. This shows that they know what they're doing. They've got a great director who probably has a great take. That's why he was hired. It's a perfect person to do it. And, you know, Morbius got pushed into 2021. So we've got 2 basically finished. I'm sure Venom 2 is in post-production, but Morbius is done. It was already supposed to come out. So this isn't anything that's been rushed. I mean, once they saw the success of Venom, all bets were off. I'm surprised they didn't announce this second, but they went with Morbius, which shows that they're slowly building up to their own Sinister Six or whatever the hell they're doing. This is being very carefully considered. It's very methodical, and I think very smart.
Rob, let me ask you this: when we're seeing things like these different movies they're putting together, and what the characters that are available to Sony to do, what makes Kraven a good choice, and why is it people like me get excited at the idea of Kraven? Why do you think a Kraven is a good movie to make at this time and a good character to use here?
Well, first of all, despite the fact that there's artwork that makes him look, larger than life, Kraven harks back to the old The Most Dangerous Game story, when the most dangerous game is man to hunt. And Kraven is he's a guy that really just wants to, well, go after Spider-Man and put a bullet between his eyes, take him out. I mean, he's not some villain bent on world domination. He believes in sort of the rules of nature, the apex predator going after apex prey. And I'm going to show the world just how good I am, and I'm going to show you how much better than you I am. And I think that I think the most interesting opponents, we always talk about how the best villains are the best movies have the best villains. And the fact that Kraven, he basically only wants to hunt Spider-Man. That's his deal. And he isn't going to stop until he finishes. And I love that I love that he's a man that has made a decision to go after his prey, and his prey happens to be a beloved character. So immediately you're like, that puts the whole situation into stark relief, and so to speak, because there will be no Tony Stark to save him. But I just like that it's simple, it's easy, it's also diabolical. And I think it makes the idea irresistible. And the fact that he does have his interesting past, it's the kind of villain that you can immediately get behind. And if they cast a charismatic actor to play Kraven, I could see it being the Hans Gruber of the Spider-Verse, and it could be great.
Now, here's the question. I don't think he's going to be hunting Spider-Man, because I don't think they're going to have Spider-Man yet. But I love the idea. I mean, I remember you and I talked about this before. I love the idea that Kraven catches wind of this alien creature that's on Earth, the ultimate prey, and he hunts Venom.
Yep.
I mean, like, there's something about that just gets the Ghiblies, going. I love the idea. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this announcement? Do you like the idea that they're going in the direction of a Kraven the Hunter? What do you think about the director choice? I personally think it sounds really good. Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.